Hey guys, Christian here from Harris Forge and Fabrication, and I'm bringing you the update for the propane burner I was making for that gas forge, and I got it running perfect, and I'll show you what I changed to make it better. So here's a little fire here. I'm just ready. Okay, should grab my glasses. Alright, so I've only fired this once. Hopefully it doesn't blow up this time. So far so good. That is running beautiful. So there it is. Put it down on idle here. Now that is beautiful. I got a nice neutral flame. It's coming out with a nice little cone on there. So, now for the upgrades. Basically, what I've done, I've put in a new orifice. Now, the one previous was 23 thousandths of an inch. And the problem with that one is it was drawing too much oxygen. And because it's a small orifice, it wants to push out at high pressure. The larger amount of pressure, the greater amount of pressure it's pushing out, caused it to push in too much oxygen. The other thing, I needed something to cause a little bit of turbulence on the flame. Now I didn't know what the best way was to weld a little piece of pipe right in the center there. So my way around that, I took a what was that? A 3/4 to 1 1/4 reducer bell, and that worked perfectly. I'm really happy with it. Now the orifice, I bumped that up. Now I just used a MIG tip, and I cut it on the lathe. Just put a little bit of taper on there, and I what was it? Bumped that up to a number 56 if you're going by metric. Not quite sure what that is in imperial, but bumping that up reduces the amount of pressure going through there, and because there's less pressure, it draws in less oxygen, allowing for more gas-rich flame. Mixed with that new bell I put on there, it turned out to be perfect. A nice neutral flame, a nice hot flame. It's much quieter. Before there was a lot of sputtering up in this area, and if you looked in, you could actually see the flame kind of rolling around there, and then it would come out and have a very oxidizing flame through here. I didn't like that. It was loud. The flame causes a lot of scale when it's that oxidizing. So I put on the new orifice and the bell, and I got perfect. Now there's no sputtering in the back end here. The flame starts right about here, and then it works its way on through. Now to talk a little about the construction. Basically, all it is, I told you in the last video, I made up this little two-way nut here, brazed on the oxyacetylene arrestor that I cut in half. I TIG welded the nut on there, and then that was already tapped on that end. It was just a 3-inch nipple. Got the 1/4-inch reducer, or not reducer, the ball valve here. I drifted open the end of this square tubing round, and I welded a nipple on there so that I could screw this in. And this is just 1/2-inch square tubing. I don't know what gauge it would be or whatever you call it. Put a little cap on there and TIG welded the nut in there so I could screw in the MIG tip. And then I TIG welded on this piece that I cut off a nipple so I could screw it on this bell. This is a 2-inch to 1-inch bell with a, I guess you would call that a coupler or something, that goes from 1-inch to 3/4. The 3/4 pipe that's 9 inches long, and a 3/4 to 1 1/4 bell. And I got that running, just a little propane here. That was just nearly 30 psi when it was at top pressure. And when I reduced that right down to nearly an idle, that was about, say, maybe 3 psi. So now I got to make up a little forge to go around it, and this thing is going to work awesome. This is going to be my welding forge, because I have my nice expensive NC Whisper Daddy there, and I don't like putting flux in that. It'll eat away at the ceramic, giving you less insulation. I don't know, it could reduce in the amount of heat you get in the forge. It's just not good for it. So my way around that, I'm going to make a nice small forge. I only want it for welding with this one, or just a small thing, because with the Whisper Daddy, to be honest, I don't like firing up 3 burners if I'm going to make a key ring or a little neck knife or something like that. It uses a lot more gas than I have to. So this will probably be made out of a 5-pound propane tank. I'll just cut the ends off, cut a hole in it, and stick this through. I will line that with kale wool, probably 8-pound kale wool. And you got to use soft fire bricks for the bottom. Now the reason I don't recommend using kale wool for the floor of the forge is because putting your metal in there, it'll catch it, it'll tear it. It's a waste of money. Now you can't use the heavy, the real hard fire brick, because it acts like a clinker. It'll want to suck your heat out of there, and it's just no good. So get a good soft fire brick. Use that for the floor of it. And for welding, I'm going to make a stainless steel insert that I can put on the floor of there. That'll hold all the flux and everything, so it doesn't ruin the entire forge. Other than welding, I'll probably use it to make something small, like little knives or horseshoes or Damascus, and yeah. So see if I can start on a forge to go with it, and I'll show you how it works out. Till then, this has been Harris Forge and Fabrication. Have a good one. Stay safe and wear your safety glasses.